So this isn't the reason for the video, but I'll tell you guys, Four Giants by Founders, Haze Destiny. It's a damn good beer. Might not be one you're gonna drink a lot of, but it's one you enjoy when you're the one you have. Got a new project going on, Walter, that of course needs to happen, been needing to happen for a while. I bought some floor pans, I wasn't real impressed with them. I've decided to use them anyway. You'll see next video, hopefully coming out, will be me finishing those up. One side's done-ish. Got a little more to go, but one investment I decided to make before I even started with the floor pans was a auto-dimming helmet. I've used them before in the past. Never been a huge fan of the auto-dimming. They work okay. I mean, they're great as far as see, weld, stop, see. That's where they shine. Now, if you're welding for long periods of time, or if you're welding something and you need to be able to kind of tell the heat levels and things like that, that's where they start to fade off. What I've decided is, for what I'm doing with sheet metal, I've got to be hot and off, hot and off, hot and off. It's basically thin metal. I've got a mediocre welder at best, Harbor Freight. So I've got to really be able to stop and start a lot. So I decided that it's time to buy the auto dimming helmet. So I went looking for one. Of course, I thought about the Harbor Freight. I know they've probably got some cheaper ones. But before I did that, I decided to stop in at TSC and see what they had. Well, lo and behold, they had some clearance items. And they had a Hobart, which Hobart would be kind of your prosumer. They're not quite to the same level, technically, of Miller, although they're made by the exact same company and probably a lot of the same technology. Might even be on the same assembly line, but I'm going to guess that there's probably maybe a little better sensor, or there's a little bit of different spec in between the two. There normally is. It might be a simple thing, but trust me, they've done something to cheapen that Hobart compared to the Miller. Functionally, I think they're pretty close to the same. But anyway, they had this thing on clearance, and for 60 bucks, they had a Hobart Creator helmet. So, decided to go with it. And there it is. So they had two on the shelf that were ready to go. This one's been, like I said, used a bit. So you can see it's a little dirty. 3 sensors, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Back side of this thing, if you want to pop this out, there's a little switch at the bottom. It's in, it locks in place, it puts it in place. Hit it again, locks off right there. And then you're able to pick this thing up. That's where you can get to it. And I'll be able to pull this whole piece out. Of course, it comes with a couple extra protective plates. This one, again, it's already dirty where I've been using it a little bit. Have to wipe that down real good before I do it again. It's got a low battery right here. So it's got a shade, the sensitivity, and the delay. The delay is the one thing that I might, honestly, I put everything right where it should be, or I left it right where it was set from the factory. When I got it, pulled it out, tried it, everything seemed good. I'm going to play with the delay a little bit. The one thing I did notice is whenever I'm done welding and want to see again, I have to sit there and wait a little bit, which since I was welding on sheet metal, that kind of made me wait a second to weld again. So it kind of timed to my welds, so I kind of used it at that point. Which is not bad because, again, you're doing a whole lot of tacking. You move, tack, move, tack, move, tack. Therefore, didn't need the sense or the speed to come back up. It also has 2 settings here, so if you want to grind with it as a shield, you can. Push it down and grind, you can see through it, and it's got weld at the top. When it's in grind, there's a little warning flasher here that lets you know that, hey, I'm in grind, and you might be able to see that flashing red. Don't weld with me. So all in all, it's a pretty solid setup for this thing. And I did feel a little more comfortable buying Hobart compared to the Harbor Freight. You know, maybe, and I really like the way that pops in and out. You know, it's, again, pop that out, lifts up, slides right out. Kind of nice. Again, came with a couple extra shields, so we'll be able to do that. I've never been a fan of these. Just flat out, I'll tell you right now, if I'm doing a lot of welding, I still won't use this. But if I'm doing a lot of welding and tacking, that's your deal. That's what these are good for. If I'm welding short welds, tacking a lot of stuff, I don't have to go up and down with my helmet. I can understand the beauty of these. But when it comes to physically welding and seeing, I'll pull this old Jackson out with that gold lens. If you've ever welded with a gold lens, it's one of the few things that you can weld with, see the color of the metal that you're welding, and see everything that's going on. Technology is great. Sometimes the old school is just better suited. Again, lots of tacking, lots of short welds, there. Heavy welding, I'm putting this one on. Having said that, for 60 bucks, it's hard to beat. I guess this is their old model. The new one just came out. It sells for 100. Still, not a bad price. Guys, if you like what you see, make sure there's a subscribe button at the bottom. Hit that thing, hit that like, hit that notification. You're gonna be able to see what that welding helmet helped me do very soon. I'll have the new floor pans completed and a video of how I've done it. When I bought it, they had two. They had camouflage or this blue flame. Camo's just not me. What I really need now is a new welder. And like everybody else, I do have some budget stuff. What I've seen so far is the Harbor Freight welders are pretty decent. And maybe I just get an upgraded version of that. I get an actual MIG rather than just a wire feed flux core. I don't know, I mean, tell me guys, what's been your experience so far? Should I buy, slightly more prosumer like the Hobart MIGs? Should I go save my money, get a Miller or a Lincoln? Or is, hey, the Harbor Freight, or maybe even there's something on Amazon. I'd really love to hear from you guys. Tell me in the comments below.